we're gonna read the last paragraph that we read from last time. We're reading some more Ben Drowns. I love this creepypasta. Oh my god, so let's get to it. Alright, so the screen faded, and I was standing on the top of the clock tower, with Skull Kid hovering over me. Silent. I looked up and the moon was back, looming just meters above my head. But the Skull Kid just stared at me, hauntingly with that booping mask. A new song was playing. The Stone Tower Temple theme played in reverse. In some sort of desperate attempt, I equipped a bow and fired off a shot at the Skull Kid. And it actually hit him, and it played an animation of him reeling back. I fired again, and on the third arrow, a text appeared that said, "That won't do you any good." Heh. And I picked up off the ground, levitating upwards, and Link screamed and burst into flames, instantly killing him. I jumped when this happened. I had never seen this move used by anyone in the game, and Skull Kid himself didn't have any moves. As the death screen played, my lifeless body still burning, the Skull Kid laughed, and the screen faded to black. Only to have myself reappear in the same place. I decided to charge him, but the same thing happened. Link's body, lifted off the ground by some unknown force, immediately burst into flames again, killing him. This time, during the death screen, the faint sounds of the reverse song of healing could be heard. On my third and final try, I noticed that there was no music playing for this time. That all there was an eerie sound. I'm sorry about my cat. I remembered that the only encounter with the Skull Kid, you were supposed to use the ocarina to travel back or in time or summon giants. I attempted to play the Song of Time, but before I could hit the last notes of Link's body, once again horrifically explodes into flames, and he died. As the death screen neared its end, it began to chug, as if the cartridge was trying to process something. When the screen came to, it was the screen seen as the first 3 times, except the time Link was lying on the ground dead in a position I had never seen him in the game before. His head tilted forwards to the camera, with Skull Kid floating above him. I couldn't move. I couldn't press any buttons. All I could do was stare at Link's dead body. After about 30 seconds of this, the game simply faded out into the message, "You've met your terrible fate, haven't you?" before kicking you out of the title screen. Upon getting back to the title screen and returning again, I noticed my save file was no longer there. Instead of Link, it was replaced to "Your turn, your turn." Had 3 hearts, 0 mask, and no items. I selected "Your turn," and immediately when I did, I was returned to the clock tower rooftop, scene of my Link dead and the Skull Kid hovering above him, with the Skull Kids laughing and looping again. I quickly hit the reset button, and the game booted up again. There was one more save file added below "Your turn," entitled Ben. Ben's save file is right back. It was before. I deleted it. At the top of the tower stone, the moon almost crashing. I turned off the game at that point. I'm not superstitious, but this is way too booped up even for me. I haven't played it at all today. Hell, I didn't even get any sleep last night. I kept hearing the reverse song of healing music in my head, and just remembering the sense of dread I felt exploring the clock town. I drove back to the old man's house to ask him a few questions with a buddy of mine. No way I was going there alone. Only to find the "for sale" sign in the front yard, and when I rang the door, no one was home. So now I'm back here writing down the rest of my thoughts and recording what happened. Sorry if some of this has grammatical errors and whatnot. I'm running on no sleep here. I'm terrified of this game. Even more so now that I relived it a second time writing all this down. But I feel like there's still more to it than meets the eye. In that there's something calling to me to investigate it even further. I think Ben is something to in his equation. But I don't know that. If I could get a hold of the old man, and he would be able to answer some questions. I need another day or so to reciprocate before tackling this game again. It's already taken a toll on my sanity, I feel like. But the next time I'm going to be recording the footage all the way through. The idea to record only came to my ends, as you can see, in a few days. Last few minutes I saw, including Skull Kid and Neely. It's on YouTube here. Day 4. Let's watch it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I freaking watch this. It's called Day 4. It's called Day 4. Oh, what the hell? That is definitely the Song of Healing. What? What the? What the hell? What? How is this possible? Okay, so it seems like that's... Guys, I'm sorry that I'm skipping so much of this. I want this to go fast. Oh, so it keeps on appearing behind them. And there it is again. There it is again. Here's the skull guy hovering above him. The game looks perfectly normal. I'm sorry, guys. What the... What? There's the your turn. Also, guys, if you didn't already know, but I don't want to ruin it all for you, but this is a hoax. It was recently found out to be a hoax. Sadly. What if it wasn't? That would be the creepiest thing ever. When you think about Ben Drown not being a hoax. So let's get back to it. Okay. I'm going to stay in this thread for a little while longer before I fall asleep to answer the questions you guys might have, or hopefully listen to your thoughts or theories to help me shed some lights into this maybe things I should try. I think I'm going to play Ben's file tomorrow to see what happens. Maybe I was supposed to do that all along. I don't believe in paranormal boop, but this is a little booped up. But maybe this Ben guy is just a really good hacker / programmer. I don't want to think about the alternatives if he isn't. That's the end of this copy or paste. I'm hoping that this is some running gag of the developer's gag or copy of the games, because this is just really scares me. Post number 2. Hell yes, guys. We made it about 1/3 of the way. No. Finding a good fraction. 6A, no. 3/8 of the way there. So we're not even halfway there. But we are getting very closer. Okay, guys, we're getting closer to the end of it all. So hopefully we'll find that end that we want, and hopefully that we find some fun in it. So, yeah. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's press play. Oh, that's an ad. That's an ad that's been following me around forever. So, post 2 is pretty darn long. All we can read is post 2 today. Okay. Go try and make this a 25-minute long video. Hopefully post 2 only takes 15. Okay. I'm going to post what happens and link the video footage. But last night, everything got too real for me. I think I'm done messing around with this. I passed out pretty much immediately after making that thread. But last night, that elegy of emptiness in the statue, I had a dream about it. I dreamed that was following me in my dream. That I would be minding my own business when I'd feel my neck hairs stand up on end. I would turn around and that horrible, lifeless statue would be staring at me with those empty eyes. Merely inches away in my dream, I remember calling it Ben. Never before had I had a dream that I could remember so vividly. But the important thing is that I got some sleep, I suppose. Today, putting off playing games for as long as I could, I drove back up into the neighborhood to see if the old man came back. As I expected, the car was still gone and no one was home. As I was walking back to my car, the old man next door, mowing the grass, killed the power to his lawnmower and asked me what I was looking for, if I was looking for someone. I told him that I was looking to talk to the old man that lived there, to which he told me that he was already knew. He was moving, trying a different avenue. I asked the old man and his family if any family or relatives I could talk to. I discovered the old man had never been married before, nor did he have any children or grandchildren through adoption. Starting to become worried, I asked one final question, one that I should have asked from the beginning. Who was Ben? The man's expression turned grim, and I learned that 4 doors down 8 years ago on April 23rd, the man informed me that on the same day of his anniversary, that's how he knew the specific date, there was an accident with a young boy named Ben in the neighborhood. Shortly after his parents moved, and despite any further attempts to talk to the man, he would divulge anything else. I went back and started playing again. So there was an accident with a young boy named Ben in the neighborhood. Oh. I went and started playing it again. I loaded up the game and immediately I jumped to the title screen where the mask flies by. The sound that played was the normal whoosh sound, and it was much more higher pitched. I pressed start, bracing for the worst, but just like 2 nights ago, the files Your Turn and Bend were displayed. Truth be told, I looked up at the file Ben earlier. It seems to fluctuate between displaying the Al save and not. I brought up the Ben file, hesitated for a moment, and noticed that the stats tower were not the same as they were originally 2 days ago. It seemed that he had already completed the stone temple that time. Summoning my courage, I selected it. Immediately, I was through the complete chaos. Sure enough, I was outside Stone Tower Temple, but that's about what I expected. The zone shelf wasn't called Stone Tower Temple, but rather space O space N space E. And immediately a dialogue box came with gibberish that I couldn't make out, greeted me. Link's body was distorted. His back was cocked violently, to the side where the posture was permanently disfigured. Link's expression was dull, almost monotonous. He had an expression on his face that I didn't recognize from before. It was a blank look, as if he was dead. As Link stood there, his body spasmed irregularly back and forth as I examined the avatar and noticed that if I had a C button items that I had never seen before. Some kind of note, but pressing it did nothing. Sounds played back and forth that I didn't recognize from the game, almost demonic in nature. And there was some kind of high-pitched yip, or some kind of laugh or something playing in the background. I had all of 2 minutes to take the environment before another one of those boop-ing elegy of impetus statues was summoned, and immediately after I was cut into the Dawn of New Day screen. Expect the time that without the I subtext. Where's the I? What? Where'd that take me? Okay. I was a deco scrub in Clocktown. This scene would normally play after the first time he traveled back in time. Tattle would say, what just happened? It's as if everything has. But instead of saying started over, oh, what the? Oh, there. Give me a second, guys. I just posted that first video. Okay, so I'm done changing that. So, I was a deco scrub in Clocktown. This scene would normally play after the first time he traveled back in time. Tattle would say, what just happened? It's as if everything... Oh, wait. Happy Mask Salesman in the background. I was put back in control of my character, but from a booped-up camera angle. I was looking from the behind of the clock tower, watching my avatar run around as a deco scrub. Seeing as how he really had no place to go because I couldn't see anything. A brilliant Bregembogini went inside the door. I was greeted to a happy mask salesman who simply told me, "You've met the terrible fate, haven't you?" before the screen whited out. How much longer is this? Not too longer. I was in Tremanema Field as a human again. I might as well not be playing the same game anymore. I was being warped around in a sign of a day clock or nothing. I took a moment to be the bearings. I looked around the field and immediately I could tell that nothing was normal. This was not normal. There were no enemies and a twisted version of the Happy Mask Salesman theme was playing. I decided to run towards the woodfall before I noticed a gathering of 3 figures off to the side, one of them being Epona. As I approached them, to my horror I saw the Masked Salesman, the Skull Kid, and the Elegy of Impetus statue sitting there. I figured they might be bugged out, but by now I told myself that I should know better. Nevertheless, I approached them carefully and I found the Skull Kid was playing some kind of animation loop. Same with Epona and the Elegy of Impetus statue was doing all along, just standing there eerily. It was the Happy Mask Salesman that scared me more profoundly than the 2 other. He too was idle, wearing the boop-eating grin. But wherever I moved, his head slowly turned and followed me. I had not engaged any dialogue with him, nor was I in combat yet. Yet his head continued following my movements, reminded me of my first encounter with the Skull Kid on top of the clock tower. I pulled out my ocarina, to which played the ding sounds when you are supposed to play ocarina, and tried a song that I haven't tried yet. The Happy Mask Salesman owned song, and the song that had been playing in a loop back in 4 days. The Song of Healing. I finished playing the song, and as I did, a ear-piercing shriek blasted from my TV. The sky immediately started flashing. The Happy Mask Salesman twisted theme song sped up, intensifying the fear inside me, and Link exploded into flames and died. The three figures stayed lit up during my death screen and watched lifeless body burn. I can't describe to you how sudden and terrifying the transition from eerie to terror it is. You're going to have to watch the video if you want to see it firsthand. That some fear that caused me to lose sleep 2 days ago started to grip me again as if it said text, "You've met your terrible fate, haven't you?" for the 3rd time. Alright, we're gonna skip. Actually, this is running just in time, okay. I had little time to ponder as I was immediately given another small cut scene transition from transforming into Zora, and I found myself in Great Temple Bay. Hesitant but curious to see what the game had in store for me, I slowly made my way towards the beast where I found Epona. I wondered why the game had decided to put her there. Was she implying she was trying to get a drink? Unable to mask it off, I decided that riding the steed wasn't the reason for here. Suddenly I realized that Epona kept neighing, and the way she was angled made it look like she was trying to signal a point to me off in the distance. It was a hunch, but I moved to the Great Dock Bay and started swimming. But sure enough, I almost missed it. I found something at the bottom of the ocean, one must elegy of Epiphanius statue. I went down to examine it, and suddenly my Zora started doing a choking animation I had never seen before a Zora do. Which didn't even make sense because Zoras can breathe underwater. Regardlessly, my character choked to death and died. And again, the statue was one thing highlighted in my death. I didn't respawn this time. I was moved back to the main menu as if I restarted the console. The press start screen was before. The only reason why I was here. The save files had changed again. Taking a deep breath, I pressed start, and I was in the right save files. Told me about Ben. The new save files told me about Ben. Now it made sense why the statue appeared, and I tried to go to the laundry pool. The game must have anticipated I would have tried to escape the day 4 o'clock town. The two files would have told me his fate. As I suspected, Ben was dead. He had drowned. The game obviously isn't through with me.
Oh, it's hot in here.
The press start screen was before me. I knew the only reason why it would make sense is because the same file. I already read that. It taunts me with new save files. It wants me to keep playing. It wants me to go further. But I'm done with this. Boop! I'm not touching any of these files. This is already way too horrifying for me, and I don't believe that this is paranormal. But I'm running out of explanations. Why would someone send me this message? I don't understand it. I just get too depressed thinking about this. The footage is up here, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to analyze it. Maybe there's some kind of coded message in this gibberish, or something symbolic and went through it. It emotionally and mentally drained to boop with it anymore. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We may watch the video tomorrow, and we're going to finish up post 3 and post 4, and hopefully it will be done by then. I'm pretty sure it goes up to post 6 or something. But I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, peace out. I hope you enjoyed this creepypasta reading. Peace. Boop.